Dave Johal with Dean Whyte for the Boxing Voice. How are you, mate?
I'm good, you?
I'm good. Loads to talk about since we spoke last time. We're at the Dillian Whyte presser. You said it was going to be on home soil. It's delivered. It's on home soil, Manchester. What's your thoughts on this fight? Is this an opponent that you guys picked together? Or?
No. This is obviously, he mentioned the name, so obviously we knew Eddie's been mentioning the name. It's a brilliant fight, and you look at it. If you stylistically, it's a brilliant fight in terms of the skill set of both guys. They're evenly matched, but the only thing is Dillian's younger, stronger and more hungry. I know probably Povetkin probably still thinks he's in the mix, which he is. Let's scratch that off. Not thinks he knows he's in the mix, but he still's got a lot on the plate to deliver, if you get what I mean. So he, like he said, this is a great opportunity for him also. So I believe he's going to come and give it his all. So this is a dangerous fight, especially when you're so close to a world title, opportunity. But that's the can man. He wants to try and fight all the top guys and do the business,
Seen in the press as well, Tyson Fury's sort of victory party. You said something to him. What did you say, mate?
No, I just congratulated him. I said to him, listen, man, well done. It was a magnificent performance, a great achievement. Coming from the same side as the pond from the UK and stuff, and doing what you're doing. Listen, man, it's just a proud moment for people from our side. Now we've got all the top boys. We're reigning 1, 2, and 3 in the position. So you got to give credit where credit's due. I'm a big fan of the sport of boxing, so I always give credit to the people, whatever they're doing out there, and support, because that's all you can do.
Do you think as well, because when we spoke at the Peacock, you called it as a Fury victory. That's what happened. Did you expect the devastation, the knockout, the costume, and everything that happened afterwards?
All of that stuff about the costume, I'm not too sure about the costume. That's whatever he's made up. They said they had a bicep injury, there was a back injury, there was the costume. Listen, the better man won on the night. If that was the case, there's so much on the line for these boys. If you're not fully prepared, just pull out and make it another day. At the end of the day, you know what, you was the champion, now you're not the champion. So obviously it would have affected a few people financially, but at the end of the day, your health is more important, because you could have died in there. And the beatdown he got from Fury was a real beatdown. So, as much as they want to talk about, this and that, you need to be fully ready and prepared if you're going to go in there and fight the likes of the lineal champ Tyson Fury. And you saw what he did. He pressed him back, and he gave him a good old seeing to in there.
As well, at the same time, you could still argue that Deontay Wilder is still a threat because it's one loss. He's held the WBC title for 5 years, dominant force. So it's not over, is it?
No, of course not. Listen. One fight doesn't change everything for these boys. Look, Dillian's got a fight and he's come back tremendously, and look where he is today. Anthony Joshua's lost one, and look where he is today. So it's just a learning step. They're always for you to learn, take heed, go back to the drawing board, and reassess what's on the table, and then come again. And that's what he definitely needs to do, especially as he's taking the trilogy.
Yeah, after this fight as well with Dillian, how many times do you see Dillian coming out this year? Another twice, or?
Not trying to look past this. I believe he probably might be out another 2 times. He needs to get past this and concentrate on May the 3rd after the fight. Then you can start talking about what's potential and what's out there, because you don't want to overlook the likes of Alexander Povetkin. He's a big puncher. He's strong. He's got fast experience, and he's just not someone to be overlooked at all.
Moving on to next year, if everything goes well, it's February, isn't it, the date?
Exactly.
Do you think that'll be easier to make in terms of promotions, and that's the only thing that gets in the way, doesn't it?
Of course it is. It's broadcasters, he's Sky, that's BT. Obviously, I know those guys are going to be looking at it saying, well, he's the lineal champ, the WBC champ. Well, Dillian should come across to that side of the pond and accept wherever it is. But I'm sure Dillian and his team are going to have a different idea and think of different things. I can't see Dill, fighting on BT Sport and accepting that. Maybe they're going to have to do a joint, where it's BT and Sky. I don't know.
Similar to Mayweather McGregor, right?
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know how it's going to go. But obviously, those are the fine-tuned stuff that him and his team will kind of work out and deal with. So we just got to kind of sit back and see. We've got to concentrate on this fight, one fight at a time, get past that, and then you look at landscape. For me, this is a very, very dangerous fight. This guy's still got a lot left in the tank. I saw against Hunter the performance he put on. He started very slow, but he came back very, very strong, and he managed to get a draw, and I feel rightly so as well.
moving on to one more fighter before we call it a day. Shakan Pitters fighter on the 28th. Unfortunately, you're not going to be there at the presser tomorrow. But how's Shakan prepared for the change in opponent with Chad Sugden?
I spoke to him on the way up here. He doesn't care who it is. He said if it's him or it's not him, he doesn't care. He's going to destroy it. Whoever's in there. If it's one hand, 1 foot, he's not going to pull out. He's going to collect the British title.
Brilliant. Dean, all the best. Safe journey home to London.
Thanks very much,
we'll catch you later with the Boxing Voice. Take care, man.
Like, subscribe, and share. As always, if you want to support us to the next level, head over to the patreon.com/ThaBoxingVoice. We have tons of exclusive from Border Wars, from title, betting shows. The list goes on and on and on. But in addition to that, if you guys have questions for fighters, trainers, and promoters, this is where you can submit them. We will run out, get these questions answered, and put it back on the show just for you guys. Appreciate it. Peace.